The Thames, Britain's busiest river.
Hold up.
It's working harder for us now than ever before.
Hold it. What?
These days, we expect whatever we want, whenever we want it.
When do you stop?
We don't. 24 hours a day.
Zone 19, all okay, out.
So as we sleep, the river grafts through the night to ensure our 24/7 demands are being met.
Put 1,000 revs on, Kev.
Now I'll be uncovering the secrets of the Thames after dark,
Is that water coming up too far?
discovering jobs that have to be done between dusk and dawn.
Go nice and slow.
He's done 12 to your 4. Slacking.
Knock them back in.
Keep the track together, safe.
Lovely job. All gone.
Jobs that are more extreme
I'm not afraid, no longer.
and more dangerous.
I'm going to have to step back. I'm going to be walloped by a ton of fish if I don't.
And I'll uncover the nocturnal secrets of this great river.
Look at this. Wow. Scary old river, isn't it?
Oh, it is. She looks nice, doesn't she? But don't ever trust her.
Welcome to the river that never sleeps. This is the eastern end of the Thames, lined with industries that run through the night. In among them is a place that every Londoner relies on 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Somewhere very few people have ever seen inside. You know that old saying, time and tide wait for no man? Well, there's a man-made structure just along here that would beg to disagree. The Thames Barrier. This magnificent piece of engineering was completed in 1982. It was designed to hold back the tide and protect London from flooding. The gates are 5 stories high and they've been raised a total of 199 times. And I've got exclusive behind-the-scenes access.
It is classic, isn't it?
Iconic shape.
It's 8 p.m. and the job of protecting London doesn't stop when it gets dark. In charge of making sure the place is fully operational is engineering manager Steve East.
These are the pier roofs.
How do you keep them clean?
We don't. It's stainless steel cladding. There's no maintenance on those at all. These are as installed 30-odd years ago.
You know, when I first saw it, I thought it was a load of old modernist rubbish. But the longer it's been there, the more I've got to respect it and kind of love it.
Steve's taking me across to one of the middle piers, and to get there, we have to go underwater.
But we're now underneath the river, so if a ship goes through one of our navigable spans, we'll hear the propellers above our head. And as you can see, the services go right across the barrier from the power systems to the water supply.
The gates are rotated into place using massive hydraulic rams.
This is the upper cylinder that moves the A-frame, which is connected to the gate arm, which brings the gate up into position.
So what kind of pressure is that operating at?
Around 2,200 psi. Car tyres are probably around 30 to 35 psi, so you can imagine 2,200. That's a lot of pressure.
This is an incredible feat, both of engineering and design. The gates weigh 3,200 tonnes each.
And you're the bloke who decides when the barrier should go up and when it should go back down again.
Well, I'm one of the 3 duty controllers who makes that decision.
Yeah.
Once that decision is made to close, though, we have to react to what the river actually does. The tide behaves how it wants to, and sometimes it may come in quicker than we're expecting. So we might forecast that we've got an hour and a half to close the barrier, but in reality, we might have less time than that. So therefore, we go from a plan A, and personally, I've had a plan B, and on one occasion, I had a plan C.
Do you ever get nervous about the fact that you've got such a lot of responsibility here?
We protect 1.25 million people, over £300 billion of infrastructure in our capital city, so we've got to get it right.
Steve's so cool about it. If it was me, I think I'd want to hide in the corner with my hands over my eyes.
And what does that decision depend on?
Oh, that depends on quite a lot of data and information and our expert forecasters up in our control room.
It's the in-depth knowledge and experience of the forecasters that stands between London and disaster.
So we get information from the Met Office and we'll look at that in combination with surface pressure charts, and if they're all going through the roof, we know we've got a big surge coming.
So it's a 24-hour-a-day job with 5 forecasters taking their turn on the night shift. Tonight it's Alan Atkin Park.
So we're looking out for tidal surges which could combine with a higher tide that could potentially therefore flood parts of central London. We've got a tide gauge network on the east coast of the UK that starts in Wick in northern Scotland and comes all the way down the east coast, ending up at Sheerness and Southend and the Thames estuary.
Wow, I wouldn't have realised that you were looking at Wick in Scotland to find out how the surge is going to operate up the Thames.
Yeah, because that's where the tide begins. They always start in Wick in Scotland and then they come down the east coast and 17 or 18 hours later that then reaches the Thames estuary. If we're seeing tides higher than what they should be, then that's when alarm bell starts ringing and I'll be having phone calls with the duty controller and potentially calling the team out to shut the barrier.
You love your job, don't you?
I do. Every day is different. I've been based here for 12 years. New Year's Eve, I get the best seat in the house for fireworks. You get to see all the river life, the cruise ships, the tugs, the working river. There's a lot of life that goes on at night that you just don't get to know about.
Sure. I think it's really reassuring to know that while we're all asleep, Alan's up here checking out the weather in Scotland and all the way down the east coast to make sure that the millions of people who live in London don't get very wet indeed, and that he and his colleagues are doing that night after night, 365 nights a year.
Next,
Keep lowering, Tony.
fishing despite the odds.
I absolutely love the sea. It's a calling.
And I discover a hidden secret so important it's under 24-hour surveillance.
Zone 19, all okay. Out.
I'm at the eastern end of the Thames, discovering what it's like to work here after dark. I've come to the north shore of the estuary. It's 7 p.m. and tonight I'm on Canvey Island in Essex.
Now, I've known Canvey Island for more than 50 years. When I was a teenager, my mate's mum had a chalet here by the sea, but I never knew this place existed. It's one of the great secrets of the River Thames. Just had to leave my phone in there. I've got flame retardant overalls on, these goggles, red hat, gloves. They don't mess about here, and there's a very good reason for that.
This is Oikos Storage, one of the UK's largest independent refined fuel terminals. The 70-acre site can store 300 million litres of diesel and aviation fuel, destined for the planes that take us on holiday and the petrol stations where we fill our cars. This is a round-the-clock operation, and they keep a close eye on everything. A really close eye.
We are in position, mate, ready to climb the stairs.
Yeah, okay. Cheers, ready to go.
I'm with Jim Chury. His night shift runs from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m, making sure the fuel is ready to flow whenever it's needed.
Whoa!
When most of us are settling down in front of the telly, he's getting up on top of these tanks.
We like to keep 3 points of contact,
Yeah.
which are your 2 feet and your hand out.
All right.
And that means I have to go with him.
You know, I was fine coming up the steps. So here, you feel as though flying off into the estuary.
We're up here to check the amount of fuel below us, and those fumes.
Cool.
Smell of nostalgia.
I am not afraid, no longer.
Right, this is called a dip tape. You want to hold that?
Yep.
So if you can slowly unravel that for me.
Yeah.
Customer orders arrive on a 24-hour basis, so constant checks are needed day and night.
Oh, God, if I dropped that, that would have been embarrassing, wouldn't it?
Feel it hit the
Oh,
bottom?
I can feel it hit the
That's
bottom.
it.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
go
yeah,
no
yeah,
further than that. And start winding it up.
Okay.
Keep going a little bit more.
Here we are.
and we can take our reading off the tape there.
Yeah.
We will record this,
Yeah.
and then that will be processed by our stocks department.
It's basically so no one's nicked any petrol, isn't it?
Exactly, that's right. Dip done.
Dip done. Let's get down again.
If anything stopped the fuel flowing here, we'd feel the effect right across the country.
Yes, mate, all three are moved, yeah.
Security is state of the art, but you can't beat good old boots on the ground. I'm joining Dean Bennett on patrol.
Like you see, you've got the fence line with the razor wire. It's all set in concrete at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then also we've got these infrared intruder beams on site.
Who are you trying to keep out?
Anyone who might want to get in sight, cause a bit of damage.
Terrorists?
Yeah, there is a strong threat of terrorism.
Dean's reassuringly calm given the potential threat to the fuel here.
How many times do you patrol around here?
Constantly throughout the night, we secure this site 24/7, 365. So we've got someone in our security hut that keeps an eye on the cameras. So if one of these beams gets broken, the cameras will move into that position and then that will alert us if we haven't already seen them.
So if I got in there...
If you got in there, there's about 3 cameras in this position that would zoom in on you.
Here I am. Hey, 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 I'm coming in, I'm coming in.
And now the camera's on you.
Oh, it is on me, isn't it? I can see it, yeah.
And that one over there is on you as well.
Zone 19, all okay, out.
So what's the appeal of working through the night?
My previous job, I was a lorry driver. I was away from my baby that I just had, and I wanted to spend some time as the baby grew up. So a friend of mine said, would you like to come and work in security for me over here? And I've been here ever since.
So you actually have had the full satisfaction of seeing your kid grow?
Yeah, having a decent time set pattern of knowing what you're doing really helped out.
1027's opening now.
Despite the hour, tankers are arriving to fill up.
It's 1:45, is it like this every night?
Yep, we're 24/7 hours, so they come in all through the night.
Tony Garland is overseeing deliveries tonight. The tanker is from a fleet that restocks garages.
This particular tank has got 6 compartments and they hold about 7,200 litres in each compartment.
I'd always assumed that a lorry like that was just one great big shell ready to be filled up.
Yeah, no, they can load different products. So it gives them an option of delivering different products to different garages.
So does all the fuel go out by tanker?
No, we have 2 underground pipelines that go to pumping stations and then it's dispersed to the airports all over the country.
Hang on, so you mean there are big pipes here that go virtually underground all the way to Gatwick and Luton or wherever?
Yes, miles of pipe work all over the country that we don't see.
The network is thousands of miles long.
Off you go, mate. So that's it. Off he goes round the country, leaving Canvey Island far behind.
Of course, one of the main reasons Oikos is located here is the Thames.
Right, this is our deep water jetty. After you.
Yeah, reset. Reset.
This jetty is 450 metres long. We can get ships up to 300 metres here. It's very important we carry out these safety checks down here. Here we are at the top of the jetty head. This is one of our safety showers. If anyone unfortunately does get doused in fuel down here, we have a means of washing them down. Right, so I'd like you to pull that handle there for me. Mind you don't get wet.
Yeah. Hey! Well, it's very efficient, isn't it?
Yes, that will clean you off, Tony. That's now sent a message back to the control room as well, alerting them that the safety shower has been activated.
That's it.
That's it. Thank you very much, Pat. There we go.
See, I'd have been yanking it down. I'd have been under there for about 3 minutes.
You have to push it up.
It would have been like Psycho with me under there, mate. We've been hanging out together for about 3 hours now.
Yep.
And you've had a smile on your face all the time.
I enjoy my job, Tony. I've worked up and down the river for over 20 years and I love the job. Don't get me wrong, it can be very bleak in the winter, but in the summer, it's the best job in the world.
What is it that you like about it most?
Fresh air and messing about with boats. And there's some great characters working up and down this river. We do have a lot of fun. Yeah.
You're a big kid, really, aren't you?
Yeah. You never grow too old.
He may work through the night under constant surveillance, but Jim is one of the happiest people I've ever met. His enthusiasm is infectious. It may be 2 a.m, but I'm sorry I have to leave. When I started looking into the Thames at night, I thought night shifts would be full of people yawning and longing for bed. The dark brings a sense of togetherness, a clarity of purpose, even a hint of adventure on my next night. We all know fishermen have it tough, but for some fish you have to go out at night. Which is why at 7 p.m. I'm venturing out into the Thames estuary on a trawler in search of Dover sole. I'm in the care of skipper Martin and his first mate Kevin. I'm the deckhand.
Oh, it's a disgusting job, this, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a decky learner's job.
It's 15 miles from Whitstable in Kent to the fishing grounds, which gives us 2.5 hours to check and prepare all the equipment, because when we finally arrive, there'll be no time to waste.
Why are we fishing at night? Wouldn't it be easier to do this in the daytime?
You can't catch Dover soles very well in the daylight.
Why not?
Because they can see you coming and they swim away.
Truly?
Yeah, they do.
There's so much grease around here, I can't see where my nipple is. There we go.
The Dover sole we're after are flatfish that live on the seabed. Martin's heading out to a sandbank further out in the estuary, where other fishermen have found them in their nets.
There's one. Take that, Tony.
I need to learn the ropes quickly. On board, there's no margin for error.
Watch your footsteps there. It is a dangerous job.
Yeah.
You've got to keep clear of all the running gear and all that kind of stuff, because these can pull you into the winch.
So I've got to stay near you tonight, I guess?
Normally on board, if you've got someone new coming on, you normally take them under your wing and look after them.
Martin's my kind of fisherman, out here in his small boat trying his best to make ends meet. He's one of hundreds of fishermen who used to rely on these waters for a living.
You used to catch a lot of fish in the Thames. I used to fish here all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been here for about 6 or 7 years. There's just been no fish.
You're kidding? 6 or 7 years?
Yeah, a long time ago.
How come?
Well, the pulse beaming's done a huge amount of damage.
Sorry, the what?
The pulse beaming. It's where large multinational vessels, they electrocute the fish and it's caught a lot of fish.
So where have you been while you haven't been able to fish here?
Kind of was a bit of a vagrant fisherman and sort of dotted around here, there and everywhere.
Yeah.
They kind of forced me out.
So why have you come back here tonight?
Pulse beaming's been banned.
Thank goodness.
So we're hoping it's going to recover.
So we don't actually know that there are many fish here?
No, we don't know yet. This is a sort of exploration.
Well, fingers crossed.
I hope so, yeah.
I'm sorry to say it's an age-old story. Large-scale industrial fishing forcing small boats like Martin's out. It would be so good if he could come back, but that'll only be possible if the fish stocks have recovered enough.
We nearly there, Kev?
Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah.
The fishing grounds are finally approaching. I'd better get kitted up quickly.
Just keep clear of that rope.
Yeah.
If we overshoot, we'll waste valuable time and costly fuel.
I'm a bit scared. Martin told me horrible stories about people putting their feet in the fishing net and then the net goes overboard and whoosh.
But I know Martin will make sure nothing scary happens to his decky learner. We're going to be trawling, towing the net behind the boat.
Right, hold it there.
Yeah.
Right, if you lower that again, getting a bit more, Tony, just gently. That's it, gently.
Yeah.
Righto, keep lowering it, Tony.
Okay.
We'll do the other side now. Yeah, righto, Tony.
Okay. It's only 11 o'clock. We seem to be doing pretty well.
Fuck's sake.
Are we all right?
Not yet, Fed. Just got a
What's the problem?
little shackle caught on something.
Just when I thought we were doing really well, we've got a shackle caught.
Kev, ease right back, will you? If you could lower those ropes quickly for us, Tony.
Yeah.
If you do the port side first.
We're nearly there. No time to waste.
Take it off the winch.
Okie doke.
Righto, drop it.
But fishing at night is never ever straightforward.
Put 1,000 revs on, Kev.
Next, the problems keep mounting.
It's got a bit of sand, I think.
I feel it tipping.
And I come face to face with a really bizarre machine.
Vegan. What's vegan?
Only eat seed.
How are we doing?
There's a bit of a tangle.
I'm on a trawler in the Thames estuary, but our nets have got caught up and we're trying to free them.
Righto. That's it. Brilliant.
Yes!
We're back in business. Martin deals with stuff like this all the time. I don't know how he does it.
The gulls know what's happening, don't they?
They do, yeah, they're clever.
With the nets trailing out on the surface, we're finally ready to drop them down around 60 feet to the seabed and begin the trawl.
I've got a bit of a funny turn there with a winch. I can't get a bar and bar it out.
I love this world of rusty old winches and metal bars and guys running backwards and forwards.
Brilliant.
As midnight approaches, Martin slows the boat to a crawl. He'll let the nets skim the seabed for the next 90 minutes. Then we'll find out if there are any Dover sole down there.
How long have you been fishing, Martin?
Started fishing, Tony, when I was about 12. So well over 30 years. I think the fishing industry has had some real hard times. Large companies have overfished and the kind of chocolate box small inshore fisherman has been pushed out.
Why do you still do it?
I love the sea. I absolutely love the sea. It's the feeling of freedom. It's a calling, really. It is a calling.
I boarded our Sarah Jane at 7. It's now 1:20 in the morning, and we're finally going to discover if Martin can return to the estuary.
Heaving up now, Tony.
Coming up.
That does not sound good.
That side's up, isn't it?
I feel it tipping.
The boat's lurching on its starboard side.
This side's got a bit of sand, I think.
The net has scooped up too much sand. Weighed down, it makes it much trickier to bring to the surface.
Are you worried about the fact that there's a load of sand inside the net at the moment?
Well, yeah. Of course, I mean, we won't have a pay if we've just got a load of sand. So, yeah, I'm quite concerned about it. I'm going to put a few more revs on now, trying to wash the sand out. Have a look.
These days, we like to know where our food comes from. If you ask me, Martin's really got something to be proud of.
If you're in a restaurant next to the harbour, you want to know that it was someone like you who fished it out, not some huge company.
That's exactly what the British public want.
Yeah.
They want people like us catching their fish sustainably, small scale.
You ought to step in and say, I fished that, look at my hands.
Exactly.
It's now 7 hours since we left port, and there's a lot riding on the contents of this catch.
I'm going to have to step back. I'm going to be walloped by a ton of fish if I don't.
It's a load of starfish.
No good.
Nah, not a lot in there at all, really.
What's this?
That's a dogfish, that one. Throw him back. These ones are Dover soles. Go and get a basket and you pick those Dovers up.
All those years of pulse fishing have taken quite a toll. The sole Martin's depending on are few and far between.
That's a Dover sole, isn't it?
Yeah, that is, yeah. When fishing was good here, you'd have overfilled that basket with one haul. Next one.
Martin needs at least 3 full baskets just to cover the cost of the trip, but the next net is no better. Just a few more sole and a nice skate.
Oh, that goes down well with a few chips, wouldn't it? Where do you sell this stuff when you catch it?
Our farmers markets, most of it.
You've got your own farmers market?
And shop, yeah. It's the only way of really keeping a small boat like this running.
Sure. It's kind of diversity, really,
We've
isn't
had to, yeah.
You like these, don't you?
You've done well for your first day. I suppose you're used to digging.
Yeah, but the things I usually dig out
are worth a bit more money than you.
Aren't wiggly and taste of salt.
Just look at Martin, he couldn't be trying harder. But are the Dover sole returning to the estuary?
I think it's a sign there's a few fish. Well, if we'd come
3 or 4 years ago, we'd have literally had a handful of fish, like 5 or 6. So there's a glimmer of hope that things will recover in time.
Well, thanks for tonight. You looked after me like a champion, I must say.
Pleasure to have you on board.
Tonight wasn't just work for Martin. It's a way of life going back decades. And though things might not be ready for him to return here yet, he's not giving up. And I hope it comes good for him and all the other small boats like his. As I move up the Thames, it's packed with industry. Big factories and multinational companies line its banks. It's a global player. But I'm glad to say there are smaller, family-run businesses making a living here too.
Go on, pull it. Yeah.
Yes.
I've come to Tilbury near the Dartford crossing. It's 8 p.m. and I'm joining Nick and his crew. Mate Taryn, apprentice Sam and mate Harry.
Careful with this one, it's quite heavy.
The tide dictates their sailing times, but Nick's boat can work on lower tides than most, which means tonight they can carry on even though the tide's almost out.
See, the problem is the tide's low and the boat's down here and the quay's up there. So I really hate doing this. Am I nearly there? Oh, yes! Careful, there's my sandwiches in there. How long have you been doing this?
2.5 years. Something I enjoy doing, getting paid to do it, and I work with some good people, so.
He said he works with some good people.
He wants the weekend off, that's what that's all about.
Their cargo is rapeseed.
Good. Right up.
It gets turned into what we know as vegetable oil at a factory upriver. But the Thames is too shallow there for bigger ships, so Nick's boat, the Polar Rose, steams up and down transporting the seed.
What kind of weight are you carrying?
About 650 tonnes of seed. Yeah, so there's a fair bit of weight there.
Lot to negotiate.
Yeah.
Where did you get the experience to do all this?
All my family have worked afloat. Worked with my granddad and my father as a kid and left school, apprenticed.
Always for the same company?
Yeah, it used to be Everard years ago, and that's where my father was in the sort of management side of the business. He did the management buyout, and it was just the 3 of us. There's 10 of us now.
And are you the gaffer?
Well,
go on, you are.
We're all a team.
Yeah,
we're all a good team, yeah.
I used to do deliveries to Everard's when I was a teenager. It was one of my first jobs.
Tango, you guys in?
Righto.
It's just over an hour upriver under the Queen Elizabeth Bridge to the vegetable oil mill at Erith on the outskirts of London.
We're just entering base turn to final.
Nick may be skipper, but I like the way he lets mate Taryn take responsibility for steering the boat. This stretch of river is both deep and wide, but he still needs to keep an eye out for other vessels straying out of lane.
This is the hub of the ship, isn't it?
Yeah, this is where we all sort of meet, so you're not on your own and all the gossip and...
It is like a little family in here, isn't
It is, yeah. You have your skipper, your mate. We've all got our roles to play, but it is like a family.
And what are you?
I'm the apprentice. You have a 5-year apprenticeship, and they're supporting you all the way, helping you get your qualifications you need.
We're here. Time to get to work. That seed won't unload itself.
What we're going to do is lift the hatches.
You concentrating, Harry? Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
This place is still known locally as Erith Oil Works. There's been a factory here since 1908.
Hey, rapeseed!
Do you know what the seed, when you put your hand in, it's actually warm.
Oh, it's cosy. Oh.
Today, the factory is owned by a company called ADM, receiving boats day and night to process almost 4,000 tonnes of seed every 24 hours.
This is the hardest part of the day, doing the hatches.
Why do you do this at night?
Sometimes it's a bit earlier, sometimes it's a bit later. It depends on what the tide's doing and stuff like that.
I always forget about the tide, of course, that's crucial to your life, isn't it?
Yep.
It doesn't matter how much technology we cook up, the Thames and her tides are still in charge here. That's quite reassuring, I think.
Just like that?
That's perfect, yeah. We won't get it undone now.
No, you won't. Down.
It's perfect.
That's it.
Yep, lovely.
What's this thing called?
Vegan.
A vegan?
A vegan, yeah.
What? It doesn't eat any meat?
It only eats seed.
I'm looking forward to seeing this.
Yeah.
The Polar Rose can make 3 trips a day from Tilbury to Erith, each loaded with hundreds of tons of grain.
How long will it take to suck it all out of this barge?
A couple of hours. On a busy day, we can do 3 of these in 24 hours.
Nick reckons transporting the rapeseed like this takes 62 lorries off the road every day.
It's impressive, isn't it?
Mad, yeah.
The only way off the Polar Rose for me is up another ladder. Nick wants to introduce me to Dave Holloway, the plant manager here.
Nick started as an apprentice on the barges.
Yeah.
When I first started on the jetty over 30 odd years ago, so we got to become friends. It was a fantastic time.
The family ties may be as strong as ever, but a lot has changed over the years.
My father worked here for 40 years before me as the works carpenter. The beans were brought in by barge in those days, so they were lifted up by the dockers into the building. They'd cut and tip the bags into the conveyor system, and there was women employed in there to sew the bags back up, tidy them back up and put them on pallets.
In fact, there's a photo of my uncle in 1957 with all the girls.
They were pretty scary. These women had flensing knives and all sorts of stuff on their belts, and they'd frighten the life out of all the guys. You see the picture of Nick's uncle with them all standing around him with their big smiles on their face.
Yeah.
They didn't look...
He was about 16 at the time, so he must have just been the young kid in the job, and I think they went easy on him.
It's in the blood, mate, it's in the blood.
Yeah.
It's 1 in the morning, but this factory is still working at peak capacity. It's the largest vegetable oil mill in the UK. The seed Nick delivers makes oil for everyone from supermarkets to fast food restaurants and crisp manufacturers. Just talking about it's making me hungry.
So the seed from the boat comes to our silos, onto our feed hopper. From the feed hopper it comes through a conveyor system to our flaking rolls, where we break open the seed.
So that's the seed all smashed up?
Yep.
It's oily, you can feel it, yeah.
So these are our screw presses, where we squeeze the oil out.
Oh, the oil.
Yep.
How much of each little rapeseed is actually oil?
About 45%. So that means half of what was on the Polar Rose was vegetable oil.
Finally, the oil's refined to remove colour and taste so it can be used for cooking.
How much of Britain's rapeseed oil do you reckon is processed here?
I reckon about 60% is done here and has been probably for the last 100 odd years.
And it's now 3:30 in the morning. When do you stop?
We don't. 24 hours a day.
Dave reckons they produce about 6 litres of oil for every person in the UK. So chances are we've all eaten food cooked in Nick and Dave's oil.
So we're at the end of the line now. The oil comes down this red pipe. That's right, isn't it, Tim?
That's correct, Tony. Yes, it comes down here. We're going to connect up onto the ship, and then we're ready to start pumping the finished product onto the ship. First, we'll throw the line across to the boat. How's your pitching arm?
Hi, guys. You know you'll be diving in a moment.
Hey, that's a good hook. Great stuff.
Oh, at least I got it onto the ship.
Now around here, we're going to get the marine arm, which is a balanced load arm.
This is this great big blue thing.
This is this here, yes. We'll give it a little tug.
Whoa, yeah, it's coming out. Yeah.
There she goes.
Hey.
That's it. Gently does it. Just lean on it a bit to slow it down.
I can't slow it down. Whoa, blimey. I'll be going up in the air. Whoa. I thought I was lost. It's still going.
That's great, the guys have got that now.
The small ship that carries the processed order onto the bottling plant is owned by Nick too. It's called the Pergo.
The Pergo will come backwards and forwards typically 3 times a week, taking the refined oil to Purfleet, our sister plant. They blend it there and send it out from there to specialist customers.
I never knew until tonight that rapeseed oil was made on the banks of the Thames. I thought it came from the other side of the world somewhere, but from now on, whenever I open a cookbook and I see the words rapeseed oil, I'll remember this place and the extraordinarily tight communities of great people who work here.
Next, keeping the paper rolling through the night thanks to the ultimate deterrent.
Does he eat the pigeons?
I've saved this visit to Tilbury Docks for last, and there's a reason for that. It's 8 p.m, and I'm undertaking a personal pilgrimage of sorts.
See that main gate there? My grandfather, Horace Edward Parrott, he used to work in there in the 1960s, and I'm heading off in exactly that direction to have a look at one of the most unique and fascinating parts of the whole operation, what I'd never even heard of before I arrived here, the paper hub. Hey up, how you doing?
Every week, ships stacked with paper arrive here from all over the world. These rolls may all look the same, but the paper inside is for everything from the morning papers to cups for our coffee, food packaging and online deliveries. We'd be lost without it. The hub plays such an important part in our lives. They don't have just one berth at Tilbury, they have two.
They built 26 berths in 2005. It was the world's first automated paper distribution centre. Now you can get virtually any paper product you like any time of night, but keeping it all going is very hard work.
The vast labyrinth handles 1 million tonnes of paper every year. Each night, as the orders come and go, these dedicated people are hard at work keeping the paper rolling. My first job is to join John, resizing rolls so they fit seamlessly into customers' machines.
There you go, sir.
All right.
Right, I've measured out the amount that they want.
Right, so all that's got to come off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll get my stripper.
Yeah.
And we'll strip off the paper. Break it up and then push it across, like that.
Oh,
Hold it there with
that's
this.
a really old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
And then pull it off.
And then we'll put that one over there.
Now, how do I cut it? I've got it in.
Oh dear, it's the wrong way around.
Oh, sorry. Get in there, yeah.
Now lift it up till it cracks.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Oh, it's
You
satisfying.
hold it there and then push it across.
Oh, oh, I like this job. Isn't it? Oh, it's like taking old wallpaper off. Oh, I just love that noise.
There's only so many layers you can take off at one time.
Blimey, this is going to take us about
It's
an
going to
hour
take
and
a while.
3/4, isn't it? Oh, that's, oh.
I'll try and keep it flat.
Oh, it's going uphill a bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone even further now. Well, I messed this up. Oh, now it's gone down.
It's not as easy as it looks.
John can get through dozens of rolls each shift.
Don't slack, mate.
Okay.
Keep going.
If only I could get into some sort of rhythm.
Right, last bit.
Right.
Done.
Yay!
Ready for the customer.
How do you feel about working nights?
I prefer working nights.
Why is that?
Because I get more time at home. Plus
So-
the wages are slightly better.
See, I've just started doing this. At the moment, I'm really finding it kind of hard about 4 o'clock in the morning.
I know what you mean. You do feel tired. It's like a jet lag feeling.
Yeah, it is like a yeah.
Many of these rolls will be used for food packaging, so hygiene has to be tip-top. My next job is taking over from Chaz, who's keeping this place spotless.
There you go.
Look, a hare and a tortoise.
It's best to keep it in tortoise because it's the safer speed. There you go. Come across and go back on yourself.
Am I going to make it?
Keep going, mate.
Are you sure?
You're
Looks like I'm
fine.
gonna whack it.
I don't want to topple one of those, some weigh up to 7 tonnes.
Oh, there's one here, isn't there? Did it come up?
That's brilliant.
Hey, the mark's gone, but Chaz is in a constant battle with dirt.
Hey!
Go nice and slow. Take it slow.
How often do you do this?
Every day.
Every day?
With new marks appearing around the clock, this needs doing day and night.
How long have you been doing it?
I've been working here 15 years, so...
Are your family from around here?
Yes, they're all local, Thurrock. My father worked at another port in West Thurrock. He used to work late, earlys and nights.
It's in the blood, isn't it?
Yeah.
Night owls.
We're a nocturnal family, yeah. It fits in with my wife's job as well.
Does she work here?
No, she works at another place that deals with shipping. So we've got quite a reliance on the Thames.
Everyone around here have jobs that in some way or other are associated with the Thames, don't they?
Yeah.
And it's the river that keeps this place topped up with those massive rolls. 26 berth is state-of-the-art, meaning it has 24 hours fully automated operation where robots stack the rolls for optimum efficiency and then retrieve them to fulfil orders. They can move 1,400 rolls a night.
This is a spectacular place, isn't it?
It's brilliant, I love it. It's called the High Bay.
Just because it's very tall.
Very high, yeah. It's 30 metres high.
Yeah.
We have capability to store 29,000 reels.
29,000?
29,000.
Wow.
I'm glad to say there's still at least one human involved, engineer Craig. His shift starts at 8 every evening.
This reel is what the crane is fixed to.
I'm joining a routine inspection at 2 a.m.
Hang on, let's have a look at this one.
Yep. This is where it's two sections joined together. We just need to make sure that it hasn't gone along the top.
What, it hasn't sort of split?
Yeah, it hasn't split or anything, because that could cause a major problem with the crane going up and down. So that's what we're concerned about. It's nice and smooth, so there's no problems. The retrieval crane runs up and down 24 hours a day, 364 days a year. And if there's a problem, everything will stop. You've got drivers that are waiting for the load to be released. You've got cranes that won't move. There needs to be somebody here that can rectify the problem, whether it's just a case of the software hitting the button, starting the crane, or getting underneath and finding out what's going on.
Outside the world of the robots, two of the sharpest-eyed employees have arrived for work. Harris Hawks, with their handlers David and James.
That's a lovely bird. What's this one called?
This one's Buzz.
Oh, wow, there he goes. Isn't that fantastic?
Buildings like this are a magnet for birds, particularly feral pigeons.
So is the hawk here to chase the pigeons
Exactly
away?
that, yeah. So
That's amazing. Does he eat the pigeons?
no, it doesn't actually catch them even, so it just stops them from becoming established and stops, obviously, the paper from becoming damaged by pigeon fouling.
What's his name?
His name's Paul.
What? Excuse me, we're doing an interview. You have to stay still. Why do you do it at night?
Pigeons are out feeding during the day, so they're here to sleep. If I come and woke you up at 3 o'clock in the morning, did that for a week, you'd soon move off somewhere else.
I'd go.
So
Yeah.
You would, yeah.
But it is odd, isn't it, that you've got this highly mechanised 21st century building here, and yet Paul is like something out of Tudor times.
Yeah, but it works.
Just a few pigeons could ruin the stocks here. And this is all just part of the nightly routine that keeps the paper deliveries rolling.
I'm going home now. Well, this whole process will go on throughout the rest of the night and the next day and the next night. When my grandpa Horace was working here 60 years ago, everybody knocked off when it got dark. But that's not the world we live in now, is it?
But I know the Thames and all the wonderful people working along it are more than ready to meet the challenge. Next time...
Alan, you all right in here?
Time and tide wait for no one.
It's a scary old river.
Oh, it is. Don't ever trust them.
Victorian science at its best.
You don't want to be the astronomer that crashes the 130-year-old telescope.
And delivering the groceries, Borough Market style.
Spectacular, isn't it? It's like being in the big top.